All right, lads. Been a while. I know. I know, but like I said before, dead air up until a few days ago. Lovely. Lovely stuff, man. Lovely stuff. But what we'll do, well, I guess we'll talk about a few things. There's Jokeres. That's to be discussed. And then, of course, there's the situation I'd rather not discuss with Thomas Partey, obviously, but we'll talk about that. Zubamendi, Kepa, Norgard as well. So a lot to get through. A lot to get through, lads. Might be a long one. So, where have I been? Well, I've been taking a little, a little break, if we're being real. Just, just a break from the YouTube world a little bit, kind of decompress because once the season starts again, I ain't getting any rest. So might as well take advantage of it while I can. Now, the news on Sunday with Victor Gyökeres, we might as well start with that because it's a mad it's a mad story. Came all out of the blue, wasn't expecting it whatsoever. But we'll get into it real quickly. And this is the latest update. Hold on, if we can just pull this up. Here we go. Arsenal sporting director Andrea Berta has held face-to-face talks with Sporting in Portugal as the Premier League club moved closer towards deal for striker Victor Gyökeres. BBC Sport revealed last Thursday the Gunners had accelerated their interest in the Sweden international as their well-documented search for a new centre forward reaches a climax. And well-placed sources have indicated that process saw Berta fly to the Portuguese capital towards the end of last week for key discussions with sporting counterparts over a deal that could be worth around £70 million. Interesting. It is unclear if he returned to London over the weekend, but Berta's Portugal trip provides a clear indication towards the level of Arsenal's desire to finalise the deal quickly for Gyökeres. An agreement over personal terms with the 27-year-old is expected to be a formality. Meanwhile, Brentford captain Christian Norgard is due to complete the formalities on his move to the Emirates in the coming days. The two clubs have agreed a deal worth up to £15 million for the Denmark international midfielder. So, Berta moving mad already. Moving mad. Arsenal will also decide whether to formalise a move for Chelsea striker Noni Madueke. No. After agreeing personal terms with the England international, Chelsea are aware of interest in the versatile winger. Right, well, Ornstein said yesterday that, or there was something from Ornstein with the Athletic podcast that there was nothing in the Madueke move, apparently. So, I mean, we'll deal with that as we go. But Gyökeres, I'm for the move. I don't really understand the logic from some in the sense of, I'd rather if because there's some stupid accounts online that go, if we get Gyökeres, I'm no longer behind the project. Like, you know which ones I'm on about. Like, you know which ones I'm on about in regards to that. But to me, between the two of them, Gyökeres and Sesko, there was only one choice, right? And the reason being is, with Sesko, right, you're pretty much hoping that he turns out to be this, I guess, to phrase it, this football manager wonder kid who hits the ground running almost immediately, right? That's what you're hoping with Sesko. but there's no guarantee of that. This isn't look. This isn't Football Manager, right? This is real life. You're expecting a 20-year-old to come into a new league and bang almost immediately. Tell you now, not going to happen, bro. Not going to happen. Ryan in the chat, the intention seekers. Oh, I see me with them. Like, hey, listen, you and me both, mate. You and me both. Oh God, mate, it's crazy, isn't it? Because, like I said, you're pretty much expected. You're pretty much banking on the fact that a 20-year-old who's never played in any league outside of Germany to come into a league that is notoriously the toughest league in the world and absolutely hit the ground running. I'm telling you, ain't gonna happen, bro. Ain't gonna happen. And the quoted price is ridiculous. I'm sorry, it just is. 90 million is a joke. 90 million euros is a piss take. I'm sorry, but no, not for me. Gyökeres was always the clear choice. Now, overall, if we're talking choices, my absolute number one was Victor Osimhen, and I've said that from day one. But if we can't get Victor Osimhen, then Gyökeres is the clear option, then, isn't it? So that's just the way I see it. But Gyökeres, should it move forward, I'd be very happy with that. I've wanted Victor the second it came out, but I wanted him. People with agendas want to forget his eye for talent at Atletico. Most of his signings banged under Simeone. Couple duds, but no one's perfect. Yeah, bro, exactly. This is that's what I would say, Ryan. Absolutely. Like you trust Barta with your life, bro. The way he's moving, mad. Mad, man. Capone in the chat, big up, brother. They are taking the piss. Gyökeres, ready-made, awesome in a joke. Man priced himself out of a move. Yeah, I mean, you could say that. Although Sesko did more or less the same thing. Like, well, or Leipzig did that. And now there's talks of Sesko going to Saudi. Which, I mean, hey, listen. Guys are going to move, innit? Guys are going to move. I'm all for Gyökeres, man. I'm all for Gyökeres. All for it, man. Also, we're in a position now we can't be waiting for a prospect to bang. We need the ready-made, ready to do straight. Exactly, Ryan. Exactly. Like I'm not for paying 90 million for a prospect striker. I'm sorry, I'm just not. Now, on to the other deals because we've made yeah, because we've made two signings so far. Well, potentially four with the additions of Gyökeres and Norgard, but the Norgard deal was expected to be 10 million up front and I believe 5 million in add-ons as well. So there's that. We've signed Kepa for £5 million already, and we've also brought in Zubamendi, but Zubamendi was more or less a done deal before the window even opened. So it's not really news, is it? More so the club, glad they did because I wanted Gyökeres. Both would be nice, but never happen. Hey, listen, Capone, brother, listen. This is Arsenal, yeah. We don't. To my knowledge, we've never. Or maybe we did back in the day, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But I don't remember us getting like two big money signings in the same window. Like we've always done one and then spread the money out. I don't know. Maybe we have, maybe we haven't. Bear in mind, I'm doing all this off the top of my head, isn't it? But hey, we're moving mad, man. We're moving mad. And do you know what? Bird, I'll tell you what. You guys tell me if this is controversial or not, right? Because I've thought this for a while. Could Berta end up being the most influential appointment of the modern era for Arsenal Football Club? Could it end up being that? Because the way he's moving, I mean, Gyökeres, Norgard, Kepa, Zubamendi. There's talks of Eze. There's talks of Rodrigo. I mean, oh my God, man. Yeah, I don't remember doing that either, to be fair. Yeah, listen, brother. I don't. I. I mean, okay, if we're talking big money signings, if we just go through the modern era, right? So Oza was a big money signing. That was the only one we made that window. Sanchez, big money signing. Um, I wouldn't say Chambers was. I mean, check for like 10 million, and then 15, oh no, 15, 16 was in check, and then 16, 17. I genuinely can't remember. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's too painful to go through all the windows there. But again, talk of Eze, talk of Rodrigo, and then there's the potential of Trossard going as well. There was links for Martinelli to Saudi, which I mean, we could go either way with that. Really, I mean, I don't know if that will happen, but if the quoted price of was it £73 million for Martinelli, like if that ends up being the case, then I don't see how we can turn it down. But no doubt, if we sign one of Eze or Rodrigo, we'd have to sell either Martinelli or Trossard because you can't keep both of them. I don't know. It's it's interesting, man. It's definitely interesting. Like Barta's doing mad stuff, like mad stuff. But let's quickly go into the gossip here to see what we've got. Let's see what day is today. Tuesday, right? Because I've not looked at it today. So let's see anything on Arsenal's front outside of what we already know. Um, from the looks of things, not really. No, interesting. So nothing on the gossip tier here. Okay. Well, I guess we might as well talk about the Thomas Partey stuff because I mean it's there, so might as well just get out of the way, innit? Right. So if we go on to the other article here, let's have a look. I don't really want to talk about this, lads, but you know what? It's to do with the club, innit? So why the hell not? Footballer Thomas Partey charged with, well, you know the rest. You know the rest, innit? Former Arsenal footballer Thomas Partey has been charged with 5 counts of rape and 1 count of sexual assault. The offences are reported to have taken place between 21 22. The Metropolitan Police said the charges involve 3 women with 2 counts of rape relating to 1 woman, 3 counts of rape in connection to a second, and 1 count of sexual assault linked to a third. Yeah, it's not great, lads. It's not great at all. The Guardian International denies the charges and welcomes the opportunity to finally clear his name. The charges follow an investigation by detectives which started in February 2022. After police first received a report of rape, the 32-year-old's contract with Arsenal ended on Monday, and this is dated at the 4th. So it would have been like, yeah, it would have been like what, the 3rd? Wait, no, it was the 4th. So that would have been like the 30th of June that this came out. After playing with the team since 2020, an Arsenal spokesperson said that the player's contract ended on June 30th due to ongoing legal proceedings. The club is unable to comment on this case. That's fair enough. I mean, why would they? Why would they comment like when they know they can't? The Football Association and the Premier League declined to comment as well. Andy Furphy, who is leading the investigation, said our priority remains providing support to the women who have come forward. Absolutely. And of course, the standard, all of that, and just going through what he's done and everything else. It's not great. I don't know how to feel about it, to be honest, because on one hand, I'm thinking my head goes to like innocent until you know proven guilty, right? Just because you're like charged with something doesn't mean you're absolutely guilty of it. But if he is proven to be guilty with all this stuff, then absolutely throw the book at the minute. But I don't know, man. It's not a good situation. His contract's done, so he's not hurt anymore. And I think into account. I genuinely, I think the club took that into account when deciding whether or not to like offer him a deal and whatnot. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. If he ends up being guilty, then throw the book at him. Yeah. The thing is, it's techie. Look at the Mendy situation. Exactly, bro. Exactly. It's my. I get. This is why I'm reluctant to really go in on it because I don't know. We don't know all the ins and outs of it, and we won't know until the court case or like the day in court actually happens. Like we won't know until that happens. So to me, I'm just like, well, innocent till proven guilty, in it. Like Mendy was charged, but was was Mendy found guilty? I mean, I don't know if he was. He might have been. I mean, I don't really pay attention to that stuff because personally, it's none of my business, isn't it? But it's not it's not looking good. Not looking good at all. If anything, it puts the club in a bad light. If he is found guilty and the club knew about this, then it puts them in a bad light, and we need to have transparency across the board. So that's how I see it. Mendy went to prison for it, and then he appealed, I believe, and won. Okay, so he won the appeal then. All right, so yeah, it's awkward. It's an awkward situation, and not one I particularly want to talk about. But you know, it's to do with Arsenal, so or an ex-player that played for us for a long time and did very well, and it is what it is. But this is why we need transparency across the board because if it comes out that he's guilty, right, and that the club knew, then it doesn't put him in a good light. It really, really doesn't. Now, as far as what else is going on, as if we just go here, I mean, outside of Jokeres, and we know what's happening with Jokeres and stuff, and we know Arsenal put a bid in for Eze and stuff, and or they're going to anyway. Whether we do that with Rodrigo is yet to be seen. But I do know because of the Athletic that Arsenal are looking to do a Rodrigo. I'm not saying Rodrigo will happen, but I know Arsenal, based on what the Athletic have said, that they are looking to do a deal. But of course, Bayern are after him as well. So it'll be tricky to get done. I think it really will be. Not too sure though, but he was definitely in prison. Well, yeah, I mean, the whole. I don't know. See, it wouldn't surprise me if there was more stuff like this to come out in the future. Genuinely, it wouldn't surprise me whatsoever because was it Mendy? There's Mendy. There's Mason Greenwood. Even though there was like, well, video proof of that on social media, and now Thomas Partey. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. City and Liverpool will be after him as well, specifically if Diaz leaves. Yeah, I could see that happening. I could see that happening. Although City have issues of their own though, because Nico Gonzalez apparently being linked away with a move, even though there's been other journalists who have said that it's not happening, whereas other journalists are saying it could happen. Like you never know who to believe with these things. But Liverpool, I don't know. Liverpool have gone quiet. They've gone quiet a little bit since they've brought in like Corquez and Varts and all these other guys. But if Diaz leaves, then Rodrigo could be an option for them. You never know. But so far, I'm liking how we're operating, man. I'm liking how we're operating, especially ahead of the new season, because one of my bugbears with last season was we were far too predictable. And a lot of that came down to the fact that we had, I mean, outside of Kai Havertz, we had virtually no one up front, and we resorted to playing Mikel Moreno as a makeshift striker when he was atrocious in midfield half the time. And on top of that, when Odegaard's form, because it wasn't great last season, he had no competition whatsoever. And when Saka went down injured, we were just predictable on the right hand side because without Saka, you're just like, well, what have I got? You know, nothing. And I think the club have looked at that and gone, all right, we need to add here. We need to add to this attack because it ain't working. All right. So that's how I see it. They're selling players, I reckon, now, so that's why we're not hearing anything from them right now. Probably, yeah. I mean, when you drop over 100 million on Varts, bruv, you better sell somebody because you can't. And then, of course, bringing in Kirkez, you gotta shift somebody on, surely, man. But like I said, I'm happy with the way we're moving at the minute. Although I wouldn't say that. I mean, personally, I want Eze and Rodrigo, but I know one's a pipe dream and the other one's realistic, which, I'm sure you guys can figure out which one's realistic and which one's the pipe dream. I don't really have to say which one's which. But it's certainly interesting. Although I did see an article today that, or something on socials at least, that Sinchenko and Fabio Vieira could be on the outs list this summer as well. So, here we go. Here we go. All right. Some latest updates in regards to Norgard has just come out. Big up, boy Tops. Big up, bro. Smash the likes, people. Absolutely, brother. Absolute. Bro, you said the same shit twice. What we doing? What are we doing, bro? Early in the morning, bro, and we're crashing out already. Jesus Christ. All right then. All right, so let's see. There was something else that's just come out. So if you just give me a second, guys. Just give me a second. From Fabrizio Romano, Arsenal and Brentford exchanged all documents last week for the Christian Norgard deal. Second part of the medical also completed. Contract signed and official statement to follow next. 10 million addition completed after Kepa and Zubamendi. Waiting for Gyökeres. So it's just a case of waiting it out now, lads. It's just a case of waiting it out. If we were serious, you bring both, but this is Arsenal. If they do that, the board are showing they want to win. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we don't do that, bro. We don't do that. We don't do that. Thoughts on this deal, bro? Do you know what? I'm not. Thing is, if we were just. Okay, I'll put it like this, bro, yeah? If our transfer business was purely Zubamendi, Kepa, Norgard, and Jokeres on top of that, then I'm not. I don't think that would be enough to compete for the title because I think you need a creative source because you need to take the pressure off of Odegaard, and Eze would do that. But you also need a creative source out in the wing because Martinelli and Trossard last season were trash. So that is why for me both of them are absolutely key. But again, we'd have to sell someone potentially to facilitate them both because I don't think you can buy Rodrigo and Eze and keep Martinelli and Trossard. Maybe if Trossard goes, because I'd rather keep Martinelli than Trossard because at least with Martinelli you get more legs out of him. But with Trossard, what you're getting now is what you're going to get until he declines, isn't it? So I just I'd rather keep Martinelli if I'm honest. But then again, if that Saudi offer turns out to be legit, I don't see how we can turn down the amount of money they're willing to offer us, isn't it? Yeah, I agree, man. We need both, man. Yeah, look, bro, I get it. I do, I get it. Like, to me, the thought of like Eze or Rodrigo makes no sense to me. Like, because we need Eze to take the pressure off Odegaard, like I said, and we need someone on that wing that's just as good as Saka, and Rodrigo is that. So I don't really understand this thought process of one or the other. Trossard only going to get worse in my opinion. Yeah, like bro, I've said this on your channel as well, bro. Like, bro, I'm not. It just is. What you get now with Trossard is what you're going to get until he declines. So that's just how I see it. I don't think Martinelli goes to Saudi. That's the problem. Yeah, I mean, there was that rumor of like £73 million, but and that was like last week that came out. But since then, it's gone fairly quiet. So I don't know if it's legit or not. But and again, this is why I'll preface it with if it turns out to be legit, because the fact it's gone quiet makes me think there's not a lot to it. Maybe it was just like one individual source or whatever, and it just went dead after that. I don't know. I don't know, but oh, the Saudi clubs are moving mad, man. Theo Hernandez, and now they're looking at what? Who else? Who else were they looking at? Bruno. Um, yeah. Since then, it's come out that Martinelli is not going to Saudi, and he is still interested in the Arsenal project. See, this is what I mean, bro. This is what I mean. Like, it's gone dead. Like, the whole talk of Martinelli going to Saudi has gone quiet, and that it's not happening. So that makes me think it was one individual source just looking for clicks. That's what makes me think that. So we'll just see in it. All right, let's have a look here. Let's have a look. God, I don't even know why I'm still on X. To be honest with you. Oh. Okay, we got something here. We got something here. Cool, cool, cool. It might be bullshit. It might not be. Arsenal are now confident that Ethan Waneri is set to put pen to paper on a new long-term contract in the coming days. Nothing signed yet, but renewal now heading in a positive direction, and that was 29 minutes ago. Okay, well, I think the talk of I think the talk of Waneri going to Chelsea was all bullshit. Then, I mean, I've always thought it was, but we're not going to sell one of our brightest talents to Chelsea. Like Jesus Christ. How much money do you think Arsenal can spend without sales? Oh, I don't know, bro. I don't know. That's an interesting topic of conversation because Gyökeres would be what 70 or 56, depending on how you swing it. Kepa's 5. Zubamendi was that 50 or thereabouts, I think. And Norgard's 10 with 5 million add-ons. So between Norgard and Kepa, that's £50 million plus the 5 million add-ons. That's 20. You add if Jokeres gets pushed over the line, that's 56 on top of that allegedly. So that's about 76 combined between the two of them. And then you've got 50 with Zubamendi, and that would push it to near enough 120 million. And then, depending on what happens with Eze and Rodrigo, you could be looking at an excess of 200 million. But I don't see how we can spend 200 million and not sell somebody because we'll have to recoup something. Getting Ethan to sign a new contract is big. He is our. Hey, listen, I'm all for like Ethan signing a new deal, man, because the way I see it, right, Ethan more or less would have wanted assurances, right? So you look at it from his perspective, he'll want assurances that he's going to be playing regular games next season, which is completely understandable because once Saka came back, he just disappeared. Like he was in and out of the team. Yeah, I don't I don't really understand why we didn't give him like more games than we did, especially when Odegaard was off form so bad. Like personally, if look, I'm not a coach by any stretch of the imagination, but considering Odegaard was off form so bad last season, would it have been a bad thing to take Odegaard out of the team for a little bit and put Ethan into that 8 role and maybe get us something going forward? I don't know. I don't know what the reluctance was to not play Ethan more once Saka came back. I don't understand it. I think we can do that. We hardly spent anything in last summer, and in January we spent nothing. Good point. If that's a fair point. That's a fair point. We'll just we'll just have to wait and see. I think you can make a loss of up to 100 and something million. We can easily spend more without selling and be okay. Well, the good news is we're not in PSR trouble, like certain clubs are. You know, I mean, there's a certain there's a certain club in Manchester that are struggling quite a fair bit, and I'm not talking about the blue side. I'm not talking about the blue side. Oh man! All right, they're well, that's interesting actually because there was a report yesterday, right, that Amram nixed the idea of an Amazon documentary with Manchester United. They robbed us of comedy gold, lads. They robbed us of comedy gold. Man United are funny. Hey, listen, bro, we've said this, isn't it? The Man United we knew is long gone, bro. Like the pool they don't have the pool they did years ago. They just don't. Like the fact, do you know, I reckon Amram nixed it, right? Because he knew it would do more harm than good. Because imagine if that Amazon documentary did happen. Imagine if that Amazon documentary did happen. It wouldn't put Man United in a good light. It really wouldn't. Oh my god. That would have been legendary stuff. Hey, listen, bro, that would have been mint. I'd have. Oh, I'll tell you what, put W's in the chat if you would watch that shit. Because I know I'm watching it. I know I'm watching it. Oh my god. Probably get banned in my house, though. Probably get banned in my house, considering all my family are United fans. Oh boy. All right, so let's see. Let's look up let's look up some other stuff to see if there's anything credible. All right then. Capone, W's in the chat. Aye, hey, you know it. You know it. All right. All right. So, Ornstein reported this 3 hours ago. Wow, incredible, incredible. Do you know? Do you know what? This is mad as well. Gyökeres separated from his girlfriend to focus on Arsenal. Even dropped 2 million like even like foregoing like the 2 million thing as well. Like what the fuck? That's dedication. That's dedication, man. Okay. So yeah, it doesn't look like there's anything else. It doesn't look like there's anything else going on. Fairly quiet in terms of other stuff going on. So it's just a case of waiting and seeing what happens with Jokeres, lads, and Eze, and then maybe Rodrigo as well. But it's it's an interesting time. Birds are moving mad and all of that. Birds are moving mad. But what I'm planning to do, lads, is more streams like this when I get the chance, because I know I've been away for a while and I don't want to leave the next one gone for too long. Plus, of course, with like previews and reviews coming back as well, we'll definitely be kind of going in that direction too. And potentially, well, I wouldn't say deal with streams because I don't know what's going on outside yet. But the second I figure that out, we'll be setting up loads of different, stuff and, doing all this shit. But today's been today's been a fun one, especially with the whole Jokeres news. Obviously, there was the Thomas Partey situation. Well, I didn't really want to talk about that, to be fair, but it's in the Arsenal news kind of thing, so you gotta go with it as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Big up to everyone in the chat. Big up to my boy Tops as well. Make sure you're subscribed to Tops, bro. Man's doing morning shows, transfer shows in the afternoon. What are we doing, bro? Moving mad. But if you enjoyed today, be sure to hit the like, subscribe, all that jazz, and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. And until next time, see you later.